embarrassing. I tried to use another mic, but didn't work. We'll go back to the old headset, which is always what we've used. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm the big man on campus. Going to take a look at some, the recap of the weekend. Also get into Houston, Oklahoma. We'll take a look at the bad beats. We'll talk about the losses, the wins yesterday, and a wild day in college football. Also, breaking down the big game tonight. We have a Sunday game here. Houston, Oklahoma, and we got to live it up because this is the last Sunday college football game we'll have, but we get back to the NFL. That'll wet our whistles on Sunday. What a great time of year it is, and what a big game we have tonight. This is going to be a fun one, Houston, Oklahoma. I'll break it down for you in just a little bit. Before we do that, though, I do want to get into what happened yesterday, and we'll wait for some people to jump in here. Hopefully they can find the new broadcast. Hope everyone's having a great weekend. I had a great week. 6-2 with my picks. Yesterday I went 2-2, but it was a tough 6-2. The 4-0 was easy. It was the getting the other four games and making a bad day end up okay. I've said it before and I'll say it again. You have a push day in this business. There's nothing wrong with that. It happens. It's better than losing money. I'll gladly take push days any day of the week. Look, do I want them every day? No, but you have 3 or 4 good days, a push day, and then another good day. A push day is just what the doctor ordered sometimes. Sometimes just getting your money back and living to see another day. With a sport with so many days, with so many games, I have no problem with the 2-2. And you look at some of these games yesterday, and if you have any questions, feel free to send them in. Please don't ask me to break down Oklahoma, Houston. I'm going to get to it in just a little bit, but I wanted to pop on and show my face today and try to relive the carnage of yesterday. The big news yesterday was in the betting world, Northwestern at Stanford, and what a brutal beat it was. And you almost feel really bad for Northwestern fans because they had to literally deal with just 3 quarters of just a complete mess from Hunter Johnson. I mean, Northwestern was horrific offensively, and it's the same old song and dance with Pat Fitzgerald's team. Not constant offense, no constant quarterback play. Even with Clayton Thorson, at times last year they just couldn't move the football. Nothing has really changed. And this is a continued problem with Northwestern and Stanford. These two teams are always seemingly on the end of bad beats. Yesterday, if you had Northwestern, not only did you have to put up with that pathetic performance, but then you had to put up with not only the quarterback fumbling the football backwards, then the lineman just completely losing the plot on picking the football up. And he missed steps that never seems to work, by the way. The lineman trying to grab the ball as he's running. It never works. He bottles that, and you have just a horrible beat. We didn't have to wait long for a bad beat in college football. That was one of the tough ones. But you had to endure such horrific offensive output. And then they finally get into the game, and you're thinking, okay, just don't fuck this up. But we've seen that before. The idiot running backwards, getting hit. Ball squirts back. Of course, the ball couldn't squirt forward, right? Had to squirt backwards. But look, if you had Northwestern, I bid adieu to you. That's rough. But some other news yesterday: Ohio State, didn't cover. Which, look, if you watch the first quarter, and Florida Atlantic, a fucking train hit them. They were down 28-0 in like 8 minutes. If you had FAU, you're thinking they're going to lose 65-0 here. But they battled. They held their own, and they didn't even score. That was the crazy thing. They just played good defense. You look at the second and third quarter, only gave up 7 points to Ohio State. Nice job by this group to come back and almost not give up and just kind of hang in this game and try to make it, somewhat optimistic. Game goes over the number and FAU covers. Look, if you had the over here, look, after the first quarter, you're thinking, okay, cool. I mean, this might be 58-20 or something, and then this game will fly over. But you had to worry a little bit. This game does get up and over the total. Big performance last night from a couple guys, LSU in particular. I'm telling you guys, Joe Burrow he's a Heisman guy. I don't know if we'll get to New York, but he's worth a bet. I took him at 40-1. In this offense, he's going to put up big numbers. He loves the spread kind of option offense. He's going to do some good things in this offense. I know it's Georgia Southern and whatever, but he had a big night last night. 5 touchdowns, almost 300 yards, only had 4 incompletions. He was really good last night for LSU. They roll 55-3. I lucked out. You talk about a total that lucked out last night. Texas, La Tech. I had the over 55 in this game. Shout out to Tom Herman for not throwing in the fucking towel and saying, you know what, we're going to go put another touchdown on the board. They score with 1:10 to go to put this one over the total, and I was happy about it because I needed this one. I got the under with the Oregon-Auburn game. I needed this to kind of even the day up. Michigan let me down. For whatever reason, they allowed a freshman quarterback to, do what he wanted to do against them, which was an odd performance. I am salivating people at the thought of taking Army in week 2 against Michigan. I will be right on my book as that line comes out, and I will be taking the Army there. That is a good spot to back Army off a bad performance. The week 2, it's tough to prepare for an option that quick. I really like the spot for Army. A lot of people are going to be down on that group after that week 1 performance and having to escape against Rice. Look, Michigan looked fine offensively, but defensively they have some turnover, and it's going to take some time before they get this all figured out up in Ann Arbor. Do me a favor, please retweet the show if you're on Twitter. I know this is very random, and I just threw it out there. We had some technical issues, so I don't know how many people will watch this, but do me a favor and hit the retweet button on Twitter. I gladly would appreciate it. What do I think about WNBA? I have no idea. I don't follow the WNBA. There are people on Twitter that do. I would recommend getting in touch with them. Ohio State didn't cover. No, they did not. They did not cover. East Carolina sucks. Yeah, I don't know what that performance was yesterday. It seems like same old with that group. Didn't matter if they had a coaching change. Shout out to James Franklin, who was up 70 last night throwing the ball. Again, Franklin continues to exude just classy. That's what Franklin is. Not fucking a crumb, James Franklin. You're beating Idaho by 70. You're still throwing the ball. What a loser. Couple other ones. Odd performance from Liberty. Maybe their coach shouldn't coach from the hospital. That didn't work out too well. They shut out. They're shut out against Syracuse at home. How do you get shut out against Syracuse at home? Can anyone explain that? I mean, seriously, can anyone explain how you get shut out at home to Syracuse? Like, I know Syracuse is good and all, but no points? Jesus. Iowa State, they escape against Northern Iowa. I'll tell you what, that Panther team, they're a good football team in the FCS. And look, for all you people that just thought Iowa State would figure it out after losing David Montgomery and Hakeem Butler, shame on you. You can't lose production like that and expect to just win the Big 12. I actually heard people saying that they were going to win the Big 12. Iowa State is going to win the Big 12. Look, I know they're ranked top 21, and I think that's a bit high. Rankings are lame anyway. But to think Iowa State was just going to figure it out after losing those types of players. Brock Purdy was terrific last year because he had one of the best receivers in the history of the Big 12 and a great running back who's going to play meaningful snaps for the Chicago Bears. That's why they won many games. That's why Brock Purdy was terrific. I'm not taking anything away from the freshman last year, but look, it's hard to rectify where you were last year when you lose players like that. Performance of the night last night, Anthony Gordon, Washington State. Shout out to him because, look, I'll tell you right now, I thought Gabe Jabru to win this starting job. Didn't think Gordon would get the job done, but what a game last night for him. 29 for 35, 420 yards, 5 touchdowns. Washington State destroys New Mexico State. And I know it's New Mexico State, but the kid's going to put up big numbers as usual out at Mike Leach University. Big game for that group. They roll against New Mexico State. Any questions before we get into Oklahoma and Houston? I'd love to hear it. As I said, do me a favor, retweet the show on Twitter. Get it out to people that maybe don't know we're on. Let me retweet the show, as a matter of fact, and that probably will help our numbers here if we allow me to retweet it. I'm always confused because Twitter normally will retweet the show for me. But I guess this new platform, I have to do it. Let me do that here. Sandy Bailey, welcome in. Thanks for checking us out. And by the way, how could I have forgotten? The most overrated football program in America lost yesterday to Georgia State. No surprise there. I mean, Tennessee's a joke of a program, as we know. We can continue to try to act like there's some big-time lure in college football that people actually care about Tennessee. But, I mean, let's be real. I mean, does anyone really care about Tennessee? I mean, Tennessee hasn't literally won anything in 20 years. Last time they won anything worth talking about, 1998. This is a team that has 6 bowl wins since the turn of the century. Stop with Tennessee. Tennessee is just a middling athletic program. It's that simple. Stop acting like they're Alabama. Stop acting like they're Clemson. Stop acting like they're Oklahoma. Stop acting like they're anything. They're not Ohio State. Oh, and by the way, Michigan, I'm looking at you as well. Another group that's won absolutely fucking nothing, yet they act like they're God's gift to earth. I'm done with this myth that Tennessee is some kind of big athletic program. Beat it. I can't support if I'm blocked on Twitter. I don't know when I blocked you, but how would I know? I don't remember. I'm not sure I remember you. I'll if you link me your Twitter, I'll unblock you. Look, if you've been blocked by me, you've probably said something stupid. I've generally tried to curb blocking people, but I'm not on Twitter to have some random person call me this or that. Treat me like a normal person. I'll treat you like one. Feel free though, Jamia, to post your Twitter, and I'll get you unblocked. All right, let's get into Houston, Oklahoma here. I mean, where do you begin with this game? Because you look at this number, Oklahoma, 23.5-point favorite. Total is a 79.5, a tick down from 80 where it was at a week, basically. All right, where do you start here? Houston, Dana Holgorsen in, and, you look at Houston and say to yourself, well, what are they going to do? We know they're going to put points on the board. I mean, I'm not going to try to sell you any bill of goods that they're going to struggle. De'Ara King's a special talent. And in that system, a system where they don't run the football very much, you look back last year to Dana Holgorsen's group, they just don't run the ball very often. I mean, it's just not something they're due. They never have. He's going to be able to throw the ball 50 times a game if he wants. That's what they do. That's what Houston will do. And in this game, they're going to be able to attack an Oklahoma defense that has a lot to prove. I've talked in the offseason about the reasons I like Oklahoma. I think obviously they're the best offense in the country, and I think with Jalen Hurts, they're going to be in a great position. I'll get to that in a second. But to me, what's going to make Oklahoma relevant is they have to improve on defense. This was a horrific, horrendous, laughable, porous, pathetic, Swiss cheese joke, crumb, pathetic defense. I said pathetic twice. They couldn't stop anybody. You, me, and 9 of us could go out and score against Oklahoma's defense. That's how bad they were. Alex Grinch, though, was in. And you look at some of the stops Alex Grinch has made. Alex Grinch made Washington State's defense relevant again. 5 years ago, when they had a guy named Connor Halliday as their quarterback, they couldn't stop anybody. They brought him in. They changed that look on defense and figured it out. And, look, Oklahoma is going to want to do the same thing. And, look, I'm not exactly worried about some of their talent. They have a lot of juniors and seniors on this roster, guys at the back end, Trey Brown, Pernell Motley, guys that can play at this level. The question is, are they any good? That's really the thing, because whether you have a junior or senior back, if they're not any good, it really doesn't matter. I mean, it's that simple. But I think in this game, you look at what Grinch has discussed. Grinch has talked about they've had 130 memorized for a long time. 130 was where they were defensively last year. They want to right the wrongs of that defense. Are they going to improve significantly? Not likely. I mean, they're still going to give up a lot of points. And in this game, they're going to give up a lot of points. The question I have, though, is, for Houston, do they have any issue offensively? I don't see one. You look at their receivers; they have 3 top guys back. Derek King is kind of one of those G5 Heisman candidates. He's going to put up numbers. You look at Oklahoma on offense. Obviously, Jalen Hurts comes in, and I've had actually arguments with Brandon Walker about he doesn't like Jalen Hurts. He doesn't think he's going to succeed, which I find to be one of the dumbest arguments ever. I love Brandon Walker. I respect everything he does, but I think he's way off here. I know Jalen Hurts is not Kyler Murray or Baker Mayfield, and I know they're going to have to tailor the playbook a little bit. But you look at Jalen Hurts, he's got so many things to be excited about here with Oklahoma. He's got tons of playmakers. Calcaterra and CeeDee Lamb are as good as it gets. He's going to be able to get out on the run if he needs to. But I think he could sit in the pocket and just pick people apart. Houston is bad. They're going to be a bad defense. I think they're going to be up there where Oklahoma was last year. They have no reason to believe. They have no pass rush. And you look at what they're going to do on defense, Houston. Houston switching to a 4-man front as opposed to a 3-man front. What that obviously is designed to do is to stop the run. Problem is, Oklahoma's just going to fucking pick them apart in the secondary. Oklahoma should put up 50-plus points in this game. It's very simple. And I'm not going to bore you and say, I think they're going to put up points. Of course you know they're going to put up points. Question is, are they going to get to 80? But you go back to Jalen Hurts. He's a guy that had massive success against SEC defenses week after fucking week. And he was pulled in the national title game a few years ago because it was a national championship game. There wasn't any other game. This was the last game. You do what you have to do to win championships. Point of the matter was Tua Tagovailoa took off, and he decided to move. The thing, though, I like about this kid is he was mature about it. He didn't pout and whine. He didn't bitch and complain. He moved on. He did his time. He sat out. He got ready for the season. He's 26-2 as a starter. It's fucking simple. He destroyed defenses at Alabama. SEC defenses. What is he going to do to Houston? What is he going to do to Kansas? What is he going to do to Oklahoma State? What's he going to do to these defenses in the Big 12? He's going to fucking put up numbers. It's that simple. This system just constitutes it. So we go to this game and we say to ourselves, okay, 80 points. Why is it backtracked to 79.5? I'm not exactly sure, but my concern here is you have to have everything go right with an 80-point total. Problem is, Oklahoma, it just seems like everything does go right. This team last year, 8.4 yards a play. They're going to be around 8 this season. I mean, it's not like they're going to go down to 6.7. They're going to go to 8. It's not going to change too much. I mean, hell, against Houston, they might be at 10. After tonight, they might be at 10 yards a play. That's how bad Houston is on defense. It's just a bad matchup for Houston. It's that simple. I mean, I don't know what else to say. But tempo is important, and I've talked about tempo in totals. Look, if you're not looking at yards or yards per play and plays per game, I don't know what you're doing with yourself. You have to look at plays per game. But here's the thing: just because a team's high or teams are high in possessions per game, that doesn't mean a whole lot. You look at yesterday, Liberty and Syracuse were both top 10 last year in plays per game with the same teams back. They scored 24 points combined. Obviously, you have to look at all sorts of things. But look, in this game, I mean, at West Virginia, Dana Holgerson's team, I believe, was 48th last year in plays per game. I mean, they weren't incredibly quick. Obviously, Derek King, that group, you'd expect it to be up. But, I think in a little bit of a new system, both teams will have some feeling out. I also worry a bit about Oklahoma's offensive line. I am a bit concerned about that. I think that's the only thing that could derail them. They lost a lot of players last year. You lose guys like Cody Ford on that offensive line, and now you have 4 guys returning. Your only guy returning, I believe, is Creed Humphrey, the center. So there are some things here that I think could put a little knot in this total. I want to make it clear, though, I'm not getting involved with this total. I've just seen Oklahoma time and time again defy the odds, and turn this into a 51, 31 type of game. The crazy thing is 51-31, you're just getting a win, barely. That's what's crazy about this game. You need Houston to put 30 on the board. As good as Oklahoma's offense, I don't think they put up 60 points in this game. Still, though, I mean, would anyone be surprised if this is 62-40 or something? I wouldn't. I'm not getting involved with this total. The odd move back makes weirdly no sense, but that's what sharps do. Sharps just bet the opposite of what everyone else is doing, so that's no surprise. I look at this game, though, if I had to play this one, which I'm not going to be involved with this game, I just think there are too many variables. I would probably play Houston. If I can get 24, I might consider it. I just think in a shootout type of game where I have a top-level quarterback, a top-level offense against a defense that I just don't fully believe in yet. Look, we can talk all we want if you're Alex Grinch. You can act like this defense is going to be much improved, but the truth of the matter is it's not going to improve that much. It's going to improve. It's not going to improve that much. It just doesn't make sense in that way they run offense and how little breaks you get. And again, until they prove it, I'm not going to buy into it. I just don't think in a game like that I'm willing to lay 21-plus points. The line is interesting, though. I mean, it's either really overrating Oklahoma or really undervaluing Houston. I'm willing to think it's undervaluing Houston. I don't think this line should be this high, especially on a neutral field. But again, Oklahoma can score in a hurry. Could Houston give up 60 in this game? Sure. But if I had to play this, I would take Houston. But I'd only play it at 24 or higher. I just think in some kind of system like this, this is a game where I have a hard time thinking that Houston doesn't match it here. We'll see, though. Again, not one that I'm running to the window to bet on. But if I can get the right line, I will be on it. All right, let's go through a couple comments here. All right, let me go ahead and I'll get you unblocked there, pal. Take it easy. Thank you. All right, a couple comments. Great stream. Thank you. Appreciate it, Apples. That's very nice of you. Shane Moen. 46-17 final. Okay. Fair enough. Houston is not scoring. Jalen Hurts is a scrub. Why are you afraid of laying 23 points? Well, I don't know if anyone's afraid of laying 23 points, and the line's 23.5. But again, I think you have to understand what you're doing here. You're laying 23 points with a team that can't defend and has never shown they can defend, plays both at a high pace, and you have a very good quarterback on the other side. That's why people are afraid. I mean, it's kind of a dumb question, Sherigan. It's pretty obvious why people are scared because Oklahoma has played they don't play any defense. It's pretty simple. Jalen Hurts is a scrub is one of the dumbest comments I've ever seen. Frankly, I think we're all dumber reading it. I'm going to guarantee Shane Mowen is some kind of Oklahoma State or Texas fan, something like that. I think he's just overly disappointed that Jalen Hurts didn't come to his school. Shane, show yourself and who you're actually a fan of, because I'm sure it's one of Oklahoma's rivals. College football fans are so delusional that people suck because they like another team. Look, at the end of the day, I love the Eagles, but I'm not going to tell you that Ezekiel Elliott sucks. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. We have to stop with this ridiculous, we don't like players because they're on a team that we don't like. You have to show respect at the end of the day. That's what being a mature fan is all about. I can understand not liking a team or a school or whatever, but I'm not giving a guy respect because you don't like his school. It's fucking lame. Jalen Hurts is a scrub is one of the dumbest comments you could ever utter on a live stream. All right, Mike Butler, thanks for checking out the show. Oklahoma has a really good defensive coordinator. Yeah, I know. I discussed it. That doesn't mean they're going to be any better defensively. And until they show they've made a ploy to look, if they give up 17 points in this game, that will open my eyes. Look, I love Oklahoma. I've talked glowingly about them. And I do think defensively they will improve. But do I think they're going to improve and give up 20 points against Derek King in Houston with an up-tempo offense on a neutral field? No, I don't. That doesn't mean, though, they won't improve on defense. It's hard to not improve on defense. But again, if you go from giving up 35 points a game to 32, that's not a big improvement. You know, I can say I lost weight, but if I only lose 2 pounds in a month, that's really not that cool. You know, it's like, wow, cool, you lost 2 pounds. Why didn't you lose 15? You've been doing this for a month. We have to make wholesale changes so we are good all year defensively. A pair of Matador defenses. Holgorsen has experience planning for OU. Could be a boat race. Don't disagree with that. Thanks for watching, Jawan. Thanks for tailing. Appreciate it. Big man, he can't throw on spread offense. That's why he lost his job at Alabama. He can't throw. Whoa, what a surprise. Teddy B comes in with dumb comments again. Let me ask you something, Teddy B. Before we say anything, he can't throw. He was 26-2 at Alabama. What the fuck are you talking about? He can't throw. Get a fucking grip. I mean, come on here with this crap. I mean, I'm so sick of hearing this shit. He's had a fine completion percentage in his fucking career. What the hell are you talking about? He can't throw. I mean, stop. Stop. Not being able to throw is Hunter Johnson yesterday. That's not being able to throw. Stop with this. And you all know that you don't have to have anyone can have a fucking high completion percentage in that offense. It's fucking move and fucking toss it over the middle. It's not a difficult offense to throw in. He doesn't have to make unbelievable throws every game. I mean, that's just stupid. That's just a bad point. Just bad. It's just bad. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. And no, we're not going to coddle you on this chat. If you say something dumb, you're going to get called out. Look, if you come in and say, I don't think Jalen Hurts could win the national title, okay, that's fine. I get it. I don't think Jalen Hurts, though, is going to hurt Oklahoma at all this year. If they hurt themselves, it's defensively. I mean, this kid has handled this perfectly. He was benched because it was the national title game. That's why he was benched. I can't wait for Jalen Hurts to throw for 420 yards tonight, and then every fucking week after that just destroy defenses, and everyone comes out and says, oh, get out of here. You just don't want to like the kid. That's why. He's handled it like a fucking G. He goes to another team. People still hate on the kid. It's amazing. Oklahoma touchdown is the first score in the game at minus 110. I mean, you're just banking really on who wins the coin toss at that point. I mean, I don't really want to bank on that kind of thing. I mean, I guess I just don't really know how do you decide that's the play? Like if Houston gets the ball first, I don't know. I guess my mind's in like a pretzel with that one. Jalen is about to show all of you what the difference is having Lincoln Riley. Great point. Great point. Because I don't know if anyone knows, but last year, just to let everyone know, Kyler Murray last year coming into the season was a baseball player. Nobody on fucking earth thought he would win the Heisman Trophy, go to the NFL, and be the starting quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. I think we all thought he'd be good, but Lincoln Riley is what allows these guys to be great. Opening week is tricky. Tread lightly. I don't disagree with you, Rosas. One of the reasons I'm not on this game. This is the kind of game you watch. You have fun with. But to wager significantly on it, if I had to bet it, I would take Houston plus 23.5. But I would try to get 24. Just want to get on that number. If anyone wishes to opine, I am on Inter Milan here. Serie A, Italy coming up, 245. Inter Milan -1 against Cagliari. I really like Inter. I think this is a team that is really talented. I mean, you look at some of the moves they made in the offseason, bringing in Romelu Lukaku. They just signed Alexis Sanchez. I love Conte as your manager. Mario Icardi, good as it gets up front. I mean, this team's going to score a lot of goals this year. A lot of goals. Midfield's really good. Defense is solid. They should be able to hand Cagliari pretty easily here. I'm laying the 1 goal here. In the case that they win by 1, we get our money back. You have arguably, though, one of the best defenders in the world in Diego Godin. Candreva in the midfield. I mean, this is a good side, Inter Milan. So I'm backing that. If you want to jump on with me, feel free. All right, look to wrap this one up. Thanks everyone for checking out the stream, watching the show. Have any of you guys watched Jalen Hurts play? Saying he's not as fast as Baker and Kyler Murray is totally ridiculous. Yeah, well, Brett, there are people that just love to hate on things. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The internet is weird. It's kind of like you can cure cancer and someone would bitch and whine that you didn't do it fast enough. That's just how it is. You can't make everybody happy. People love stupid, dumb takes. The problem is with stupid, dumb takes, if no one hears them, they're just not really takes. What are my thoughts on Louisville, Notre Dame? I'm not going to go over that game just yet. We'll go over that one tomorrow. Do I still use an online sports book, or do I bet in person? No, almost exclusively all my action I put in is through online sports books. When I'm in Atlantic City, I will make wagers, but it's way easier to just make them on my app. But yeah, we have all the apps here in Pennsylvania. What time will you be doing this show? Thanks. Well, I mean, this show is pretty random. I don't know. I mean, I'm doing a lot of like random videos, just like pick videos and things like that. If you've been following me over the last week, you know that my life is mostly about to change. I'm about to work for a big company, so I won't be on these videos anymore doing this as far as on my own channel, but I will be doing it elsewhere, and I'll be doing all sorts of content elsewhere. So, I don't really have a time for these. I just kind of do them spontaneously. I try to schedule them as much as I can. So, like on a Saturday, I'll probably do them at 11 a.m. That's one show you can expect. But, I'm not really committing much to anything because I really just don't know what my schedule is going to be. But I'm going to be making some big moves as far as I'm going to be moving totally. I'm going to be working somewhere in person totally. So we got a lot of things coming up. So keep in mind all of that. All right. Am I totally away from NASCAR? Yeah, I've just been doing other things. Soccer has been taking over my stuff. I mean, I've spent a lot of golf this year. I'll get back to it next year for sure, probably. Quick thoughts on Shady McCoy going to KC. Yeah, I think it makes sense. I mean, he's familiar with Andy. They need some running backs there. I think it makes total sense. How much does he have left is the big question. You took ECU plus 18. Wow. Yeah. Well, yeah, I did take ECU plus 18. A lot of people did. Taking every game right, man. But you've seen like just a guy that bets every game and he's right about everything. You're one of those people. You're one of those complete noob amateurs that thinks every handicapper wins at every game. Keep in mind, Shane, just letting you know, all of this I do for free. I don't charge a dime for any of this. And I waste my time. I take time out of my week, my weekend, my Saturday, my Sunday to keep you and others updated and give them information that maybe they just didn't have. But you want to come on my chat and vilify me for everything I do. Remember what I do here, pal. I do this all for free, and you're here watching. Just remember that. Is this now a good time to bet MLB since everyone is focusing on football? Interesting point. Do I think this is a time to focus on MLB? Look, I think if you could find value, I think you should bet on whatever you feel like. I know people pick their spots in MLB. I kind of just focus on other things once soccer and football get here. But I also know people that once September 1st gets here, they stop betting baseball. I think every situation is different than another, But would I totally stop? No. If you could find value, then keep doing it. Thank you, Derek. Thanks for watching, JR Fly, Robin, John, Taylor. I'll do 5 more minutes. If you have any other questions on anything, feel free to ask them. You want to talk about whatever, feel free to send it in. Doesn't have to be football related or sports. Whatever you have, I'll answer. What are my thoughts on the Phillies Mets today? Well, the Phillies are fading. Their season's over. And their season was over when they decided that pitching wasn't important. And, we're not going to score any runs. And, I don't know. I mean, I can't tell you I've been following MLB, so I don't have an opinion. I just kind of made it clear I'm not getting too involved. All right. Mark S. Kabil. This is a good question. Besides my mom and sister, have you ever kissed a woman before? Yes, actually I have. And here's what I'll do, Mark. Drop your Twitter, okay? Here's what I want you to do. Follow directions. I know it's probably not easy for you because I don't think you're too smart, but do me a favor. Drop your Twitter. I'll write it down. See, I have a pen. I'll write it down. I'll write Mark's Twitter down. And the next time my girl is here, what I'll do is I'll kiss her, and I'll have her shout you out. You want to do that? But then again, I mean, you're just some loser on YouTube that is bothering me on a Sunday as I do a free broadcast. So do I really owe you a fucking thing? No. So what I'll actually do is just forget you exist. So, but hey, thanks for adding to the user base. I'm tough. I'm going to come on a YouTube channel and make fun of a guy and ask him if he's ever, been with a woman before. Good one. What's your opening play? Opening night, Green Bay or Chicago? No opinion just yet. What else do we have here? Clowney to Seahawks. I knew you were looking for the Eagles to grab him, right? Yes, I definitely was. I was looking forward to Jadeveon Clowney, obviously in Philadelphia. They decided they didn't want to make those moves, Howie knows best, as they say. And, it is what it is. So we'll take it. We'll rock with it. I think they need another pass rusher. I would have loved to have him. I think he would have set them over the top and made them a Super Bowl contender. But, it is what it is. How do I feel about Tunsil, Steele, and Hyde to the Texans? I mean, they needed offensive line help. They got it with Tunsil. Looks like they're loading up, right? Looks like they're loading up for Deshaun Watson to make a run. ECU is a high school team. That's all I'm insinuating. Okay, well, fair enough. Are you on the Yankees to win outright, or do you see better value? You guys, I'm not betting baseball today. Just again saying that. Opinion on Oklahoma, Houston. Just spent about 15 minutes going over it, so feel free to listen back. Do you like Bethune-Cookman today? No, I'm not on that game. But all right, guys, I'm out of here. You all enjoy your night. Thanks for checking out the show. Thanks for watching. Thanks for getting involved. And we will see you next time here on the video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.